CBT News, celebrating 10 years of delivering the news and content automotive professionals count on. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today. Welcome to CBT News with Bridget Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Chris Riggins with today's top stories.
Thanks, Bridget. Yesterday, the Biden administration released the long-awaited final regulations for its nationwide network of EV chargers, stipulating that the chargers must be manufactured in the U.S. right now, and that by 2024, 55% of their cost must come from American-made components. Additionally, the administration announced a number of initiatives to help achieve its goal of having at least 500,000 EV chargers on American roads by 2030. These initiatives include commitments from organizations that build and run charging networks, such as Tesla, GM, Ford, ChargePoint, and others. At the Rouge plant in Dearborn, construction of the best-selling all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning was suspended on February 14th as engineers investigated a battery issue. As the crew works to identify the problem, the high-tech Rouge facility, which was developed and engineered especially for this high-profile vehicle, has been out of commission for at least a week. Current vehicles on dealer lots are still being sold, but no new vehicles are currently being delivered to Ford dealers, and Ford is unable to specify when manufacturing will resume. In January, the Cox Automotive Moody's Analytics Car Affordability Index showed an improvement for the first time in 6 months of new vehicle affordability. A 20-year high for auto loan rates presents some challenges, but they are offset by falling new vehicle prices, rising incentives, and rising wages. The median amount of income needed to purchase a typical new car in January decreased from 44.7 weeks in December to 44 weeks. Retail sales increased significantly in January, demonstrating customers' resilience as prices continued to rise quickly. It was great news for retailers, but it could alarm the Federal Reserve as it works to slow the economy and control inflation. Sales grew 3% compared to the previous month, which is much beyond the 2% growth predicted by economies in a Bloomberg survey. This is a turnaround from the 1.1% fall reported in December and the highest increase since March 2021. The strength of shoppers at the start of the year may encourage retailers to be more enthusiastic about their companies in 2023. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Mike Maroney, CEO of Mike Maroney Auto and lead director of Carvana. We'll be right back.
Delivering the news dealers count on for 10 years. Subscribe today and join thousands of other automotive professionals. CBT News, 10 years strong.
Dealers often ask what they should be doing to be successful in today's automotive market. So on today's show, we're hearing from industry veteran, the CEO of Mike Maroney Auto and lead director of Carvana, Mike Maroney, to give us his perspective and predictions for the industry in the year ahead. Check it out.
I would like to get your take, Mike, on 2022. Here we are in the middle of February 2023. We'll get into that in a second, but what was your take on 2022? What are your feelings on the year that we just went through?
Jim, it's the most unbelievable year I've experienced in my career, and I think my peers would feel the same way. Our profits were extraordinary, driven by the supply-demand imbalance, by, I think, a lot of retailers, including our group, improving their capabilities. And I think we've learned a lot in that period of time. But it was an outstanding year, and it's one of those years you hate to end, but we want to take our learnings with us into 2023.
Sure. You know, as you know, we finished at about a 13.4 SAR, I should say. What's your take on that? Do you think that we should settle in somewhere around 13, 14 million vehicles, new vehicles sold with a nice, healthy gross profit? Or do you think the industry is going to try to find its way back to 17, maybe 18 million new vehicles?
I think the road back to 17, 18 million is going to be a long road. My own feeling is I think we'll be in the 14.5 to 15 range. But the deceptive thing, as you know, is how much of it's fleet. I know in January there was more fleet than what we'd experienced the last year. There's a lot of pent-up demand on the fleet and commercial side. So I think if you strip out and go back to retail, I think if we could get a 5 to 10% growth this year, it would be a very successful year. And that would require certainly more production from the OEMs. And I know they're trying, and we want it. We've got our orders in, but it's certainly still challenging on the supply side.
Sure. Many of the dealers that I speak with around the country feel as though maybe a 30-day, 40-day supply of vehicles is kind of the sweet spot, if you will, in order to maintain healthy gross profits and healthy bottom lines for the dealer, as well as values for the consumers. So they don't feel as though their car drops in value once they drive off the lot. What do you feel that this kind of the sweet spot number is that we settle into as an industry moving forward?
Well, I think 30 to 40 days would be ideal. It would certainly keep inventory carrying costs down. It would help protect margins. The real factor there is what's the mix inside of that 30 to 40 days. What we've enjoyed the last year and a half was a mix that was very skewed to more profitable vehicles, both for the retailers and the OEMs. As you get back toward a full mix, which deals with the affordability issue, I don't think we're going to maintain those margins. So the day supply isn't the only driver of margin.
All right, be sure to watch this interview in its entirety right here at cbtnews.com. That wraps up our show for today, but we invite you to join us back here again tomorrow morning for all the latest news and trends impacting the retail automotive industry. And be sure to follow us on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Bridget Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content. Join the #1 most watched newscast in the automotive industry. CBT News, 10 years strong. Subscribe today.